Imagine a monster so vast you cannot see its body, only the pressure it creates. Imagine a presence that does not attack but waits coiled around you. You live inside it. You breathe inside it. You grow up inside its circle. And when the time comes, it will rise, not from outside but from the very depths you thought were safe. In Norse mythology, such a creature exists. Its name is Jormungandr, the Midgard Serpent. It is not only a beast, but a boundary. Not only an enemy, but a mirror. Not only a myth, but a message about the circles we cannot escape. To understand Jormungandr, you must begin with his family. He is one of 3 monstrous children born to Loki, the trickster god, and Angrboda, a giantess who lives at the edge of the known world. From this union came 3 beings that terrified the gods. Fenrir, the wolf destined to devour Odin. Hel, the queen who rules the dead. And Jormungandr, the serpent who would one day strangle the world. The gods saw danger in these children and tried to contain them. Fenrir was bound in chains. Hel was sent to the underworld. And Jormungandr was hurled into the sea, as if chaos could be drowned. But chaos never disappears. The serpent did not die. It grew and grew, until it wrapped itself around all of Midgard. Biting its own tail, it did not vanish. It waited. At Ragnarok, the end of all things, Jormungandr will rise from the ocean, spilling venom into the air and earth. Thor will fight it, and both will fall. This is not just a myth about gods and monsters. It is a story about the structures of reality and about the patterns of the human soul. The Norse vision of Ragnarok is not only the death of the gods, but the collapse of the entire order of existence. Fire, ice, flood, and darkness consume the 9 worlds. The wolf skull devours the sun, while his twin Hati chases down the moon. Fenrir breaks free of his chains and kills Odin. The ship Naglfar, made from the nails of the dead, sails with giants. The tree of the cosmos trembles. And in the middle of this chaos, Jormungandr rises. He brings poison that darkens the sky, and Thor meets him head-on. Their duel is the climax of Ragnarok. Not order against disorder, but destiny against destiny. Thor kills the serpent, but he takes 9 steps before collapsing, poisoned by its venom. Both fall, because some cycles can only end through destruction. This cosmic picture is not only a prophecy of doom. It is also a map of how endings work inside us. Every personal collapse, every grief, every breakdown, every transformation is a kind of Ragnarok. And in each of these endings, there is always a serpent. Jormungandr is also the Norse face of the ouroboros, the snake that bites its tail. This ancient symbol appears in Egypt, in Greece, in Hermetic and alchemical traditions. It means eternity. It means repetition. It means that endings are folded into beginnings. We imagine time as a straight line, but the ouroboros shows us that what we do not face comes back. The trauma we repress, the grief we silence, the anger we moralize, they do not vanish. They recycle. They return. They become the serpent coiled around us. You are not outside this circle. You live inside it, and the only way out is not escape. It is transformation. When Odin cast Jormungandr into the sea, he believed he was removing chaos. But chaos cannot be thrown away. What you exile does not die. It waits in the deep. This is not only about time, but about the self. We all do the same. We hide what we cannot bear. We bury memories we cannot face. We deny truths we do not want to admit. Yet what we push away only grows stronger in the dark. Until one day, it rises back into our lives. Not as a whisper, but as a force that shapes everything around us. The serpent is a mythic reminder. What you banish will eventually surround you. In Jungian psychology, the serpent is the image of the shadow, the part of the psyche that is repressed, denied, or ignored. Jormungandr is not evil. It is unconscious. It carries the very things you refuse to see but must face in order to grow. It is the fear you dressed up as piety, the wound you buried under silence, the anger you disguised as virtue. Each time you push it away, the cycle repeats. You bite, and it bites its tail, until finally the loop breaks. That breaking feels like the end of the world, and in a sense, it is. But it is also the beginning of transformation. Thor, the thunder god, embodies human struggle with the serpent. He tries to destroy Jormungandr, but never fully succeeds. In one story, he fishes for the serpent, hooks it, and pulls with all his might. The sea boils, the boat nearly capsizes, and Thor prepares to strike. But Hymir, terrified, cuts the line, and Jormungandr slips back into the depths. In another, at Ragnarok, Thor finally kills the serpent. But he collapses, overcome by venom. The lesson is that victory over the shadow is never clean. Sometimes defeating your demon costs you everything. Sometimes what looks like triumph is another form of destruction. Jormungandr is not just a monster. It is the circle of existence itself. We live inside it every time we repeat a pattern we cannot break. Every toxic relationship. Every addiction disguised as comfort. Every betrayal of self dressed up as loyalty. These are not random accidents. They are the serpent. You think you are moving forward, but the path bends. You are not walking a line. You are walking a loop. This is why the serpent is so haunting. It is not just outside us. It is the very shape of our repeated lives. But what if the serpent is not your enemy? What if it is your teacher? What if it is the sacred wound that defines your boundary and shows you who you are? The serpent does not chase you. It surrounds you. It does not speak. It contains. It forces you to see there is no shortcut. No bypassing grief, no skipping pain, no clever escape. You must go down into the circle. You must wrestle with what waits there. You must face it at the center. Only then can the loop break. Jormungandr is only one of many serpents. Across cultures, the image repeats. In Egypt, Apep rises each night to fight the sun god Ra. Chaos is never gone. It must be faced daily. In India, Anantashisha, the thousand-headed serpent, forms the bed on which Vishnu rests between creations. Here the serpent is not enemy, but foundation. Creation itself rests on the coils of infinity. In Greece, Typhon, the father of monsters, rose against Zeus with serpent limbs and fire. Only by defeating him could the gods establish order. In Mexico, Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, brought wisdom, wind, and civilization. The serpent here is not destruction, but transformation. In China, dragons encircle the cosmos, embodying water, power, and renewal. They do not only threaten, they also bless. And even within Norse myth, another serpent gnaws at the roots of Yggdrasil, the world tree. Nidhogg shows that destruction is inside the structure itself. Every culture sees it. There is always a serpent. And it is always waiting. Why is the serpent such a universal image? Because nature itself reveals its symbolism. The snake sheds its skin, showing death and rebirth. Its venom kills, but can also heal when transformed into medicine. Its body coils, symbolizing cycles, spirals, and the shape of time. The serpent moves in silence, unseen until it strikes. It becomes the perfect image of the unconscious, powerful, hidden, transformative. To dream of a serpent is to dream of what is buried and what waits to rise. The serpent is not only a myth, it is in us. The addiction you cannot break, the family pattern that repeats across generations. The relationship you cannot escape. These are the coils of Jormungandr. The serpent does not need to appear in the sky. It already lives in the way we sabotage ourselves, in the way trauma is inherited, in the way silence becomes destiny. Every person has their own serpent. Every life has its circle. And until you see it, you walk it again and again. The philosopher Nietzsche spoke of the eternal return, the idea that you must live as if every action would be repeated for all eternity. This is the ouroboros in philosophy, the serpent of recurrence. The Stoics said something similar. What comes to you is not outside your fate. It is inside the circle of Logos, the rational order of the cosmos. To resist it is to fight the serpent. To accept it is to walk through the circle with strength. Psychology, philosophy, and myth all point to the same truth. The serpent is not a mistake. It is the structure of existence. Jormungandr bites its tail and closes the circle, and we do the same. We inherit fears, repeat old patterns, and replay the same dramas under new names, until something breaks, or we break. In that breaking lies a beginning. Collapse becomes a doorway. Endings become invitations. The serpent is not only a prison. It is also a path, a reminder that even repetition holds the seed of transformation. Ragnarok is not only the end of the world. It is the end of illusion. It is the day when the sea can no longer contain the serpent, when the unconscious rises, when the truth cannot be hidden. It is terrifying, violent, and final, but it is sacred. For only when the old world dies can a new one rise. The serpent, though slain, has fulfilled its purpose. It brought the ending, so that life could begin again. You are not outside the serpent. You are inside its teaching. Until you face what it holds, you will walk in circles. The Midgard Serpent teaches one lesson. What you refuse to face will return, until you meet it. The question is not whether the serpent exists. The question is whether you are willing to face it in yourself. Let it rise. Let it speak. Let it burn away the false world. Let it reveal the pattern you could not name. This is not the end. This is the truth, curled at the edge of your world, waiting. If this story made you think differently about myths, psychology, and the patterns that shape your life, then stay with us. Follow Totem Vox and discover more truths hidden in legend, religion, and the shadow of the human soul.